Skyler the Speedy Sloth, written and illustrated by Ottley. Skyler was a three-toed sloth, a sleepy, super slow sloth. She spent her days up in her tree, moving slow as slow can be. She lived in the zoo and barely moved, because that's just what three-toed sloths do. Until she fell out of her tree and something brand new came to view. On the floor was some candy which looked so yummy, she had to put it in her tummy. She ate it all until she was full, then something happened that was magical. All the sugar gave her energy. She suddenly moved quick. Surprised and excited, she had a new trick. Skyler was no longer a sleepy, slow sloth, but a surprisingly, shockingly speedy-toed sloth. She ran to George the giraffe to tell him about the candy she got to eat. But George had a problem. He couldn't put on his shoes. His feet were just out of reach. "I'll help," said Skyler the Speedy Sloth, zooming through the zoo. In the blink of an eye, she got down to tie his fancy dancing shoes. She ran to Henry the hippo to tell about the candy she found on the floor. But Henry needed help. He was collecting some fruit and wanted a little bit more. "I'll help," said Skyler the Speedy Sloth, zooming through the zoo. As quick as can be, she climbed up a tree and collected some extra food. She ran to Ella Elephant, her speed she wanted to show. But Ella was late for an important date and still needed to paint her toes. "I'll help," said Skyler the Speedy Sloth, zooming through the zoo. As fast as a rocket, she reached in her pocket and painted the toenails blue. She ran to Rodney the rhino to show she was fast as a train. But his teeth were so dirty, which made him worried because they were causing him pain. "I'll help," said Skyler the Speedy Sloth, zooming through the zoo. Like a machine, she brushed his teeth clean. Now it didn't hurt Rodney to chew. She ran to May the monkey to show the speed she now had for hours. But May asked for a hand. She was off on her plan and needed help watering the flowers. "I'll help," said Skyler the Speedy Sloth, zooming through the zoo. Like a shooting star, she filled up a jar and watered so all the plants grew. Skyler the super speedy sloth was now tired from helping her friends. She had zoomed through the zoo to help all she knew, but her speed was starting to end. Slowly she crawled back up into her tree. Her speed she did not want to keep. The day was so long she let out a yawn, and the sleepy slow sloth went to sleep.